Welcome back to the cafe. We'll be back in the Mastercraft kitchen where MasterChef Tim's cooking with Chef to the Stars Anthony Hui Fong and his wild mushroom and courgette ragu. First though, it's the next health kick to reduce sugar from our diet. And Mel's joined by Amanda Tiffin to tell us more.
Well, thanks. I don't know if it's a kick. It's a pretty big deal. We know how bad sugar is for us, but it's not just the heaped teaspoons that we stir into our morning latte. Our next guest has launched a crusade against hidden sugars that she believes made her fat. By researching the amount of sugar that was in so-called healthy processed foods, Amanda Tiffin was able to cut the amount that she consumed and lost 20 kilos in just 9 months. Welcome, Amanda. Really nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
So how long did you struggle with your weight?
I've never had it under control. Since I was a teenager, I've struggled with weight the whole time. I was always one size, dress size bigger than everybody else my age, and it carried through to my 20s, through to my 30s, and I never got it under control until I discovered sugar.
So had you tried doing different diets and different bits and pieces?
I had tried reputable companies, and I would lose some weight. I was always hungry, and then the weight just came straight back on again. And then I tried exercising, and the weight really came back on then.
There you are then. So the exercise, that's when your weight came back on?
Yeah, I went to a school reunion just before I think it was 6 months just before I discovered sugar, and I went hard out for 3 months to look as good as I can. And
as you do, school reunion, you've got to do that.
Exactly. I was nicely toned, but I was a lot bigger than when I started.
So what was your aha moment with sugar?
It was watching the Nigel Latta documentary on sugar about 2 years ago, and at that point I just went, oh my goodness, maybe that's what the problem is. So I went to my cupboards and I had a look in there, and I started looking at packages and realised there was a lot of sugar in that, low-fat goods that I had in my cupboards full of sugar. And I had a look in the fridge, and the fridge there was low-fat, we had low-fat milk and low-fat yoghurt pumped full of sugar. And then when I started Googling fruit, oh my goodness, there was just sugar everywhere.
It's natural sugar, but it is still sugar, isn't it?
It is, and you know, your body does need sugar to function, so that's why it's less sugar, not no sugar, because I believe you still need carbs, you still need sugar, but you need more fat and more protein. So yeah, sugar is sugar regardless of the form that it takes, and too much is still too much.
For years we've been told though, haven't we, to go low fat and light on things, and really to make them taste good, they were bumping up the sugar content.
Exactly, stripping out the fat, bumping up the sugar.
So what surprised you the most?
Well, the low fat goods, that was really surprising, because just branding and advertising had taught me that that was the way to go, and it was no wonder I was always bloated and just felt horrible and overweight. So I'm not saying all low fat goods are pumped full of sugar, but there's a lot that are. My second moment was this weekend. I actually had a body scan with Body Audit in Christchurch, and they went through and they had a look at all the fat internally, the fat around my organs, around my muscles, my BMI, how everything sat, and it was perfect. They'd never seen a result like it.
Wow, so cutting out, eliminating the sugar.
And it's the sort of result that people go to the gym to get, and here I am, I do not exercise because I'm just too busy to do it, and all I did was eat low sugar, low carbs, high fat and high protein, and I achieved the same thing.
So just quickly, how do you work out how much sugar it is? If you're looking at the packet, how do you work out what is in there?
You've got to take the carbohydrate amount, and then there's a sugar amount underneath it. So that carbohydrate amount that's above the sugar includes that sugar amount. So you have to go, say the carbohydrate is 5 and the sugar is 2. So you'd go carbohydrate less the sugar is 2 grams of sugar and 3 grams of carbohydrates.
Okay, so you can work it out quite easily.
It is hard to get your head around at first, but once you've got it, you've got it. You've just got to separate the sugar out of the carb amount, and then you've got your 2 amount.
You're not a dietitian or a nutritionist. You make that very clear with the book that you've done. What are you hoping to achieve, or what are you hoping to get out of this?
Nigel Latta changed my life, and I will be forever grateful, and if I could thank him I would, for putting on that sugar documentary, because that changed my life, and that was my big aha, oh my goodness. And it's the easiest thing in the world. I've helped other people do it, and if I can just get that information out to more people, they will succeed as well. Those who want to do it can be healthier and have less weight. But the thing is, you just got to know how, and it's the easiest thing, and I want to give that message out there.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us today, Amanda. And if you would like to get a copy of Amanda's book, it's been sold in Paper Plus, selected bookstores, and on the website alifelesssugar.co.nz. Thanks so much, Amanda. And now let's see what's going on with Holly.
Dollop of tomato sauce has how much?
4.5 grams of sugar.
Anyway, this book is fantastic. Thank you, Amanda, and everyone in the audience has got a copy too. Isn't that nice? Okay, I'll give you that because I've got to go over here and get